What is up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Life's a Garden. I'm your host, Dakota Craig. If you're new to the program, or you haven't done so yet, please subscribe and follow on any variety of platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a like, leave a comment, share it with your friends. Any little bit helps us out, and we are very thankful for it. Today's positive motivational message is be thankful. It's that time of year again where Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and it is a great time to be reminded of the things we are thankful for. Thankful for our family, thankful for our friends, all the things we have in life, no matter how big and awesome they are or how little and perhaps insignificant they might be. We have to be thankful for all the things, no matter how big or small they may be in our lives. And maybe the things that you find insignificant are actually way more significant to you than you thought. If you give it thanks and you appreciate it a little more, maybe it will mean more. And maybe those big things that you think mean so much don't quite mean as much as you think, as you prop them up to be. Everything means it should be given thanks, and you should be thankful for every little thing, because after all, we should just be thankful that we exist, that we are here together, and that we can enjoy life among one another. That is enough to be thankful for. And I'll tell you what, we have a whole lot to be thankful for here in this episode, and we're going to get right to them, because it's episode 270 of Life's a Garden. Oh, yes. So much to be thankful for. I mean, hell, we should be thankful that I was actually able to put a podcast out this week. I mean, hell, it's been, how many weeks? A couple of weeks now? I did it again. Took a long break. Completely did not intend for that, as I usually don't. And I just now realized that the last episode was the Halloween episode, and we are now talking about Thanksgiving. So that's how long ago it's been. Yay! Yay for taking long breaks and being an absentee podcaster. I'm like an absent father, which I know nothing about. Not me. Just kidding, Dad. Just kidding. Kinda. But I do apologize. I really do. I apologize for being so absent all year long. I've done this several times. Life just happens, and it's kind of just become one of those things where, like, when I have the opportunity to do a podcast, I will do them. And here we're going to do it again on a Friday. And I was planning on going back to the routine Monday schedule because I just like doing them I like posting them on Mondays. We've been doing them on Fridays lately just because of the Halloween schedule and everything else like that. But because I was so late to the last few weeks, I was like, I'm not waiting till Monday. I got to put this out today on Friday just to get one out for you guys. And we got a lot to talk about, There's a lot going on. Like I said, Thanksgiving is already upon us. Crazy. Like, it's just time's flying. We're almost to December where Christmas is about to start. I've already been buying Christmas presents. Like, I feel like I've just started. I did this last year, right? Did I just get done doing this last year? But here's the thing, Christmas, obviously. All you're seeing on TV with all the ads is Christmas. The second you jump into a store, everything is Christmas. We need to give Thanksgiving its due respect. When did we just give up on Thanksgiving completely? Like, you'll get one little small section of some, like, turkey stuff, turkey decorations. But no, the corporate overlords that rake in the Christmas cash, the second the jack-o'-lanterns are rotting on your porch, the second the ghosts and goblins go back to their graves, out come the Christmas trees. Boom. It's just Christmas lights and Christmas ornaments the second the 31st is over. We don't even give Thanksgiving the respect it deserves, and we say no to that. Here on this podcast, we respect Thanksgiving, and we give Thanksgiving its due. And let me go ahead and tell you what I am thankful for, okay? First of all, I am very thankful for some Coors Light. After a long day of work, who doesn't like a nice cold Coors Light on a Friday? My goodness. It's actually Thursday night, but, you know, when this comes out, you'll think it's Friday, so. We're having a cold Coors Light on a Friday. What could we not be more thankful for? Let's be honest. I know what I'm thankful for. I know what me, Dakota Craig, is extremely thankful for. I am so thankful for my Denver Broncos. My God. Does it get any better? I mean, just understand something, okay? I have been a fan of football for a very long time. I have been a Broncos fan since I've been a fan of football. I've always been a Broncos fan. If I took this camera and twirled it around this room, I'm looking at Broncos stuff all over the place, okay? I got the Broncos footballs back here. That's about it I have on for the set. But like over here, I am a huge Broncos fan, okay? I have been so lucky to see us win a Super Bowl. And then I've been so unfortunate to watch us go 10 straight years of pure misery. And as a football fan, I know how annoying it is to have the winning teams be gloaty and rubbing it in and all that. And let me just say, I might be a little gloaty, but by no means am I trying to rub it into anybody besides Chiefs fans. It's been a long time coming, okay? I've been through hell and back with this team. And I finally get to see them have some success. Number one in the conference. Number one in the NFL, technically. We have now beaten both representatives of last year's Super Bowl. The Eagles on the road, and finally, we slayed the beast. We finally beat the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback. We did beat them last year, but they were without Mahomes. We actually shut them out. Bo Nix is now 2-1 against the Chiefs in his 2-year career, 1.5-year career. Nothing feels better than beating the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the arch nemesis, not only of my team. They have been. I have hated the Chiefs well before Mahomes, well before the Super Bowls. They are now the enemy number one of all football. Like, everybody hates the Chiefs because they're the new dynasty. They're the new Patriots. So naturally, everybody ends up hating them, especially when you have like so many things like what would appear to be. I'm not here to cast speculation, but would appear to be heavy favoritism from the referees over the last few years. Well, not today. Not when they played the Broncos. Now, let me just also say this. I've heard a lot of Chiefs fans bitching and moaning about the refereeing in that particular game, which is just poetry. The fact that they're complaining that they didn't get calls is hilarious. When in fact, they did get 2 gigantic pass interference plays down the field that did result in points for them. It ain't our fault that your fucking quarterback wasn't able to get it in the end zone and they had to settle for field goals. You were given gifts by the refs. One of those pass interferences was legit. The other one, Little ticky-tacky. So don't even try to come at me with those penalty fucking arguments. The Broncos won fair and square, straight up, beat Mahomes at his game. They were coming off the bye week. They had the ball with like 4 minutes left, and we still beat them. All they had to do was get the couple of first downs and run out the clock. Couldn't do it. Our defense, too good. And then Bo Nix drives the ball down in a beautiful masterclass of just a 2-minute drive. Knocks in, and then Will Lutz with a game-winning field goal. Just beauty. And I am tremendously thankful for my Denver Broncos. And now we get to have a bye week. And, dude, speaking of, like, we're coming into Thanksgiving, and I'm cheering that the Broncos beat the Indians. God. The White Horse went in and beat out the Indians. God. But yes, and now we got the bye week, which is just great. We're 9-2. We have a 4-game lead over the Chiefs. Pretty decent chance the Chiefs don't even make the playoffs this year, which just, my God, could I be more thankful? And it's actually nice to have a bye week because it's nice to be able to watch football on a Sunday and not have to stress out about your team. You get to just relax, put in a couple bets. That reminds me. In addition to getting to watch my Broncos beat the Chiefs on Sunday, cashed in 2 killer bets, I think for a total of like $250. I was on a roll that day. Like, it couldn't have been any better. Winning some money, Broncos kicking ass. It was just a beautiful Sunday. And that was that. And now this weekend, so perfect timing for the Broncos to be on a bye week. We move to the college landscape. We have Montana Grizz versus MSU Bobcats. Cat Grizz, Brawl of the Wild is tomorrow, as of this coming out. The biggest rivalry in the Big Sky Conference, and probably, I would say, the biggest rivalry in the FCS. I'll go that far. It's definitely the longest rivalry. It's one of the longest rivalries in all of college football, if I'm not mistaken. Top 10, at least. And boy, oh boy, it's gonna be a banger. This might be one of the better Brawl of the Wilds. Both teams look really good. You got number 2 versus number 3. I think the winner of this game takes the Big Sky division, and then they'll pretty much either the Cat or the Grizz will be 2 and 3 in the end. Ultimately, that's where they're going to land. And actually, the Cats could probably go lower. They might jump down lower than 3, but the Grizz will not go any lower than 3. They'll at least be 3. And then we get to go in the playoffs. So it's going to be a big day. We're going to make up some food. We got a nice little party going on. So that's going to be what I'm going to be doing Friday night is prepping up some food for the big game. Very excited about that. Should be a lot of fun. What else? Sports related. Oh, dude, I do want to mention this real quick. Fucking the Billings Outlaws. Okay, this will be the last football talk. We've covered NFL, we covered college. Oh, and by the way, the porcupine at the Montana Zoo, picked the Grizz to win. Just saying. I thought they used to let the grizzly bear do that, or is that the Super Bowl? I think that might be the Super Bowl actually. And then there's a porcupine that porcupine, is it porcupine or porcupine? No, porcupine. Picks the winner of the Cat Grizz, and he picked the Grizz, so hopefully that's good luck. But the Billings Outlaws, we're going to talk some arena football here, are no more. Once again, the arena football just cannot be sustained in the Billings area. This is the 3rd or 4th time that we've had a team come and go. I believe it's the third time the Outlaws have come and gone. And they blamed the city. They literally were like, it's your fault as fans that we weren't able to do this, that we weren't able to maintain them here. They said even at $10 ticket prices, we weren't able to sustain people coming. Well, let me just say this. I got a couple of reasons for you. First of all, you barely advertised. I never knew when games are. I would literally have to go look them up. There was no advertising whatsoever for any of these games. If you saw something, it was like the day before or the day of, which is just not enough time for most people, especially if they're taking their families. Second of all, I went to a couple of those games, and I wasn't overly impressed with what I was seeing. Not necessarily on the field as far as the talent. I'm old school. I remember the old days of those Outlaws games when the production side of things was tremendous. The field looked immaculate and the stands were full. But you know what the ultimate reason why the Billings Outlaws or any arena football for that matter cannot sustain in this city is because they fucked us so hard the 2010, 2011 years. We were two-time back-to-back champions of the IFL. We had record-setting numbers of attendance. And say what you want about they fucking built an indoor practice facility just for that team. There was so much money being devoted to that team, and the fans supported it. It was like professional level sports. People went all out, balls to the wall, fanhood for that. I was right there in the middle of it. I know how much people cared about that team. And when they took it away from us, they took that championship team away from us. That's where it all died. Nobody ever believed that we could trust it again. Because if you can lose a team after 2 championships, forget the tornado on the Metra. It had way less to do with that than it had to do with other aspects. If you can't sustain a team that had that level of fanhood, that level of attendance and turnout, and I'm sure merch sales, and you're winning games, you had MVPs and rookies of the year and other award winners on that team. You can't sustain that. How the fuck are you going to sustain anything else? So of course, nobody believes in it. Nobody trusts that it's going to stick around. Why would you? That old team, what they did to that old team, fucked any semblance that we would ever have trust that they would be able to sustain in this city. And that's why it never works. They've tried it twice now, and it's fizzled out after 2 years. And what great timing, might I add, because we are currently my band is currently in the studio, and and one of the songs that we are recording is called Outlaw, which we joked about for years, that how funny would it be if we submitted that to the Billings Outlaws and that became their theme song. Like, that was a song that they could, like, walk out to or play in the arena. Well, that dream is completely dead. Even if the odds of them actually accepting that, I don't know, it's a local band from the city that you play in that's playing a song called Outlaw, and it's not, like, obscene. You know, it's, like, a relatively clean song. It's not impossible to believe that could happen. Well, so much for that. Now that they're fucking peacing out on us again. So I'm not thankful for that. I'm not thankful for the owners of the Billings Outlaws, I'll tell you that much. I am thankful to be recording, though. Fun times. I mean, it's been a real process, you know. It's just there's a lot that goes into it. Getting the time together to be able to, you know, sit down and get the stuff laid out. But we're coming along, you know, little by little. We'll get there, and we'll hammer it away, and it'll be good. And I'm very excited for everybody out there to hear this record. This is going to be something that we're really proud of, and we're taking our time because we want it to be just as good as possibly could be. We're gonna make sure it's good, and it's good for everybody, for us, for you, for everybody. And greatness takes time, but I am thankful to have Jesse involved. I'm thankful to have to be working with everybody that we're working with, art wise, and Jesse doing the mixing and mastering and recording and all that. Thankful for all those guys, and thankful for my band for sticking along with me and my band, our band. I'm thankful for our band, the band that we have created together. I'm thankful for all the friends in our band that put in the hard work and devote their time and their efforts to creating beautiful music. It is a very much of a joy to be able to do that. Some other things we should be thankful for. Hey, the government's back. Woo! Government shutdown is officially over, I believe. It seems to be because they're talking about first plan of action now that the government is officially back up and running is sounds like they're opening the Epstein files. Well, I thought those weren't real. I thought those don't exist. Didn't Kash Patel come out and say that those there's nothing to be seen, there's nothing to be had? It's this whole roller coaster. Will they, won't they? Is there, are they? Do they exist at all? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Or, it's like, I'll see it, I'll believe it when I see it, but apparently the House just voted, with one person at nay, but the rest of them, which is 400 and some, voted yes to releasing the Epstein files. Fuck yeah, it's about damn time. We should be doing that. I'm all totally on board. I've been saying it for years. So, yeah, I guess we should be thankful for the government opening up if that's the direction they want to go in. Because, yeah, that's definitely what we should be doing. It's what should have been done a long time ago. And then, I hate to speculate. This is not my world. The political stuff is not necessarily a realm in which I explore too much. So anything I hear, I take with a grain of salt. I did hear that, perhaps the Epstein files, or in some emails or something like that, there might be something to do with Donald Trump potentially having sucked Bill Clinton's cock? I don't know. This is just secondhand knowledge. I'm not here to report that. I'm just here to tell you what I heard. Don't know if that's for real or not, but that would be quite interesting. I know something about, the president of Harvard, was saying something, he apologized for his involvement with the Epstein stuff. I'm not going to get too detailed because I don't know a lot of that, but from what it sounds like, it's as weird and crazy as we expected it to be. So it's not really a surprise, I guess. But good that they're finally doing it. Also, hey, SNAP benefits, I believe, are back. That was a big thing that was being talked about for a while there, is the SNAP program had been shut off for a lot of people where they get the food stamps and whatnot. And then they were trying to say that they were taking this food stamps away from people. I don't know. Again, there's only so much you can hear from either side where it's what do you believe and what don't you believe? I don't know that they would necessarily forcefully shut off all SNAP benefits for people who need them. But I could see where they would be a little bit more particular about who gets them. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I grew up with SNAP. I'm a SNAP baby. I'm a WIC. We were on WIC. We had food stamps. That's how it was for us growing up. So if you're asking me, I'm not against them because they helped my family. My grandma, she wasn't working. She was raising 3 kids under the age of, 12, and she had to feed them somehow. She's collecting Social Security. That's not enough. So yeah, SNAP and WIC. We went to the family services. We went to the food bank. All that shit. I stand fully by it. I believe in those programs. They are necessary. And they helped my family. Like, I was able to eat as a kid because of those things. Now, as an, So that is my history with it. I also believe that there should be some regulation and limitation to those things. If you're an able-bodied adult who can work, you probably shouldn't be receiving SNAP. Like, if you're a single mom and, you're working 2 jobs and it still isn't enough, okay. You're working at least. You are trying to provide. And if it's still not enough, if the bills are piling up or, what have you, yes, of course. I have no problem with you gaining benefits from that. If you're just like disabled, and for those who are listening, I'm using air quotes. If you're claiming to be disabled and, you're just sucking off the government's teat, no, I'm not for that. I think that is that's abuse of a program that is meant to be used for people who need it. If you do not need it, you should not be getting it. That seems pretty straightforward. But for some reason, a lot of people have to argue and disagree about this. I also think that those who do receive those benefits, there should be limitation on certain things you can buy. Like, I don't think you should be able to buy candy. I don't think you should be able to buy soda and fucking junk food. Like, a little bit of, cookies and crackers and chips and stuff like that, okay. But for the most part, and this is how food stamps used to be, you would get a literal stamp that said loaf of bread, carton of eggs, gallon of milk. Like, that's how it used to be. You got set a specific items that you were supposed to get. I think you should be forced to get a certain amount of healthy food items. Yes, you can have a couple of treats. Why not? I'm not cruel. But for them, I think it should mostly be reserved for eggs and meat, like hamburger, some kind of protein, chicken, bread, things like this. That's what it should be mostly for. You see so many people stockpiling their carts with just crap. And it's like, that's not what that's supposed to be for. It's not so that you can chug a bunch of fucking Dr. Peppers and eat Cheetos on the couch. No, you should be providing nutrients to your family who is in need. I mean, I remember when we would go down to the food bank or family services, they would literally hand us a box. And in that box was a block of cheese, a couple loaves of bread, some condensed canned milk, and Chex or Kix cereal. Not even good shit. But you know what? It was sustenance. It provided for us. It gave us food. We weren't bitching about it. We weren't well, where's our Fruity Pebbles at? We gotta eat Kix. Where's our Frosted Flakes? It wasn't where's the fruit roll-ups? No, we were stoked that we had Ritz crackers and government cheese to eat. That was plenty for us. We were just happy to get a little bit of food. That's how I think it should be. Again, I am not against these programs whatsoever. I think they are very beneficial to specific people. There are certain people that don't need them, that shouldn't have them. And then there's people who shouldn't abuse them, who do get them and deserve to have them. That's where I stand. I don't think that's a hot take. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that I'm too off on this. But I am glad to know that people are getting them again, from what I understand. Also, thankful that TSA is back in action, because I was starting to get a little worried for a minute there. I got a trip planned to Denver in like 3 weeks. And for a minute there, they were talking like they were shutting down specific flights. One of the flights was the one we're taking. Specifically the Saturday flight to Denver, the afternoon flight. We booked that flight. So now TSA should be back up and running fully, all that stuff. So I don't think I got to worry about that anymore. That would not be a fun drive. Would not look forward to that whatsoever. Probably would just have to sell my ticket. And I don't want to do that. Or I would have just rebooked the flight for that Friday instead. That's probably what I would have done. You know I'm not going to miss a game. You already know how thankful I am for the Broncos. I ain't missing a game this year. This will be the first and only Broncos game I get to go to. Unless... what if I get to go to a Broncos playoff game? I didn't even think of that. Holy shit. That's how long it's been since I've gotten to even think about the Broncos having a playoff game in Denver. This might be the first year I get to do that in ever. Dude, ever. I just realized ever. I've never gotten to see the Broncos in the playoffs. That's wild. Buddy, we might be doing that this year. We might be doing it. Well, and then of course they were talking about like this government shutdown thing is being postponed. Like it's back up and running until like January 1st. It's either January 1st or January 31st. I don't remember. But then we have to redecide like all this bill shit, and it might all shut down again. So we'll see what happens. But hey, we're back and running for the next couple of months here, so yeah. That's why I took that break, because the government shut down. I wasn't I was part of it. You know what I mean? Like I was in on it. Got to make excuses somehow as to why I'm never around here doing the podcast. The real reason is because it's usually the reason is because football gets in my way. This recording stuff has been, the schedule of the recording stuff isn't always perfect. So we have to change days a lot. So I have to be more flexible with my schedule when it comes to the recording. And then just laziness, just pure laziness or drunkenness would be another reason, unfortunately. But it's the truth. It's the truth. Thankful. So thankful. Oh, let me tell you something else I'm thankful for, buddy. I am thankful for Sidney Sweeny. Now, this is old news by now, but it's been in my list for a minute, and I just couldn't help myself but to talk about how thankful I am for Sidney Sweeny. A lot of people are going after her again. They had the jeans ad before, and they were trying to label it as racist. No, it was what's the word I'm looking for? Like Nazi propaganda, I guess. Because they said that the ad was that Sidney Sweeny has nice jeans, so they were saying that it was like superior, whatever, like Aryan stuff. And so recently she had an interview with Vogue or one of those magazines or something. One of those, I don't remember which one it was. But she had an interview, and the person interviewing her asked her if she would like to apologize for that ad, which is clearly just a setup to be like, just to try and bring it up again, but also to like get her in a gotcha where it's like, oh, so you did have, so you agree that it was a genetic, whatever, genetic superiority ad or whatever. I don't know what the fuck. It was just, but she handled that like a fucking pro. She just said, if I found something offensive about it, you would hear about it. And I agree. Like, I don't think that the intent of that ad was to be malicious. And I'm sure she didn't think so either. So she's not admitting that it was bad because she didn't think it was bad. And she just shut down the question, and that was it. They couldn't get her in a gotcha. But even that wasn't good enough for some people. Some people now are saying, well, she refused to denounce racism over a fucking jeans ad? You fucking morons. Because the lady asked her if she was willing to apologize for the ad that wasn't racist. She's a racist. Like, because that's like being... It'd be like if you asked me, do you denounce racism? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, yes, of course I do. But it's like, so if I refuse to denounce racism, it makes me a racist? Like, I when I say it like that, I guess you can put two and two together. Granted, that's not what she was being asked. The interviewer didn't say, are you a racist? Do you denounce racism? That's not what she said. She just asked if she wanted to, like, apologize for the ad or if she wanted to denounce the ad. Just because people proclaimed the ad to be racist doesn't mean it was, or that she perceived it to be racist. So she had nothing to apologize for. Just because a group of people just immediately decide that something's racist doesn't mean that it is. You know what I mean? Like, you could say that about literally anything. You could say that anything is racist, and then anybody, like, if you were suddenly like, the Denver Broncos are racist because blah, 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 and I'm sitting here wearing this and like, do you denounce your fandom from the Broncos because me and my group of friends say that they're racist? They're racist because they beat the Chiefs. That's racism. And I'm like, no, I don't denounce my fanhood. And they're like, well, you're a racist then. That's the same logic. God, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Plus, we gotta be thankful for that dress that she wore. Am I right? Am I fucking right? I got two things to be thankful for when it comes to Sidney Sweeny. Yeah. Swing. Oh yes. And another thing that people, since we're going down the thankful route, since we're just checking off all the things we're thankful for, a lot of people in Billings are over the moon thankful that we have a Wingstop in town now. Wingstop is the latest food craze in the city of Billings. The latest, what I can only assume to be a very overrated food experience. Much like Chick-fil-A a few years back, anytime a new franchise, it's not even a new franchise, but anytime a franchise that was not formerly in Billings, that we know of, like when it's a franchise that you've heard of and you know of, like Chick-fil-A, or like if we were to get a Chili's or a TGI Friday, even though Applebee's is the exact same thing, like you can get the same quality of food at Red Robin, but if for some reason a TGI Fridays showed up, it'd be packed to the gills for no fucking reason. When Sonic showed up, Sonic is like shitty Dairy Queen. Like, you can get good Sonic at Dairy Queen. We have 3 of them in Billings. 4 of them, I think. So we already had Sonic. Now you just want to get, like, the dollar store version of it? What? And Wingstop. You know what I mean? Like, I can't judge just yet. I haven't had it. So I shouldn't technically say that it's overrated. But I already know it's overrated. Because it's a franchise. I know that, like, I could tell you 10 different places in Billings that probably have better wings. Because they're not franchises. Like, Grandstand, guarantee they got better wings. I know the Vig has better wings. Remember when I was on that podcast reviewing wings? Those might have been some of my favorite wings I've ever had. Jets Pizza, I heard, has great wings. Honestly, Hooligans wings are not that bad. Spitz, I heard, has, you know, I could continue. I could go down the list of places that have great wings. I don't need to stand in line for 2 hours at 6 o'clock in the morning to get wings. That's not a joke, by the way. People were literally standing out in the freezing cold for 2 hours waiting for Wingstop. Like, bro, this is your life? This is what you live for? You set an alarm. You literally set an alarm, got out of bed, put on several layers of clothes, and stood in line for chicken. What are you doing? Like, my God, dude. Like, it just feels like such a... For something you can have in like 3 or 4 weeks when it dies down, they also just put it in like the absolute worst location, especially if it's going to have heavy traffic, because there's nowhere to park over there. They don't have a drive-through, so it's all inside. Like, it's all like, I think you got to just pick up inside. It's on 24th and Grand. That is one of the single worst intersections in Billings. There's no turn lane right there. So anybody who's trying to turn from the, like, going west, trying to turn in, impossible. It's just, ugh, God. They couldn't have put it in a worse location. And I'm just like, I just don't get it. I don't get the craze over, like, food, like a food item that you can... Dude, I bet Albertsons has better fucking chicken wings. For real. It can't be that good. I'm sure I'll try it at some point. Like, I'll give it its day in the sun. And maybe I'll be wrong. But I have a feeling I won't be. I have a feeling I'm going to eat them and be like, oh yeah, that's a chicken wing. Mm-hmm. Had this before. Didn't blow my balls off. I mean, hey, if they do, I'll be the first one to admit it. If I'm like, holy shit, these are like way better than I gave it credit for. Yeah, sure. I'll be the first to admit it. But until I do have a taste, hey, Wingstop. If you want to hook a boy up, so I don't have to wait in a fucking long-ass line, send me a message. Send some over. Be a sponsor. Sponsor the show. And I'll speak good things. You want to sponsor the show? I'll speak good things about your wings. But until then, I got no interest in you. But it's okay. You don't need my business because apparently everybody else is losing their fucking minds over it. And they'll make sure that you stay busy from day to night. It's just funny to watch people freak out about it all. The craze for chicken. A little bit of extra news. This is another like old bit of news, but I thought it was good to bring up. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame came back around. I never know when they're doing this because they never talk about it. They never advertise it. The only time I ever hear about it is after it's happened. And typically, the last few years, they have inducted a lot of, like, non-wrestling rock acts, and they still do. But this year, in particular, felt like a good year. Felt like a year where they actually paid like proper respect to some bands and artists who have been well deserved it for a long time now. I don't have my phone on me, so actually, you know what? I'm gonna go get my phone so I can look it up because I forget who all was in there. I do know Soundgarden, Chris Cornell, and Soundgarden did in fact get inducted, which just warms my heart because they by far deserve it. I would say, aside you know what? I would say Soundgarden was the single most influential band from the grunge era. Were they the most popular? No, that would go to Nirvana. But the most influential. Like, Chris Cornell is single-handedly responsible for, obviously, Soundgarden. He's responsible for Pearl Jam, because Temple of the Dog. And then Kurt Cobain cites Chris Cornell and Soundgarden as one of his major influences for creating Nirvana. What more could there be? Like, those are 3 of the 4 major grunge bands, and Chris Cornell and Soundgarden touched them all. So, well deserved for them. I know, Andre 3000 and, what was his band? Outkast. They got inducted, which I'm good with that. You know, not like, generally speaking, a rock act. You know, you wouldn't think of them going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But I'm good with it. You know, they were a big band and they're like good. You know, I don't hate Outkast. I think Andre 3000 is a very talented artist and deserves the recognition. And speaking of recognition, I do want to recognize these other bands that were inducted. So, without editing, I'm going to run to the other room and grab my phone. So let's see how long of a silence you have to listen to. I'm back. It wasn't too bad, huh? I didn't time myself. But it couldn't have been more than 5 seconds. I'm fast. I'm like lightning. But I'm out of breath. Okay. Let's take a look at what we got here. Rock Fame. Oh yeah, it's in Cleveland. That's right. I forget about that. All right. Oh, Bad Company. Badass. Chubby Checkers. Joe Cocker. Cyndi Lauper. Oh, the White Stripes. Yes, of course. That was the other one. Cool. So yeah. I think those are all well deserved. I'm pretty happy with that. And that's pretty much all I had for that. I just thought it deserved being recognized and talked about for the podcast. Yeah. Like I said, I always forget about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And let's see. Okay. God. Sorry, just reading something. Okay. We're getting toward the end here. So, let's do the usual as of late. I know it's inconsistent because obviously I'm inconsistent with the podcast. But let's talk about NFL picks, especially because, God, I'm pretty good at them. I did good last week. Like I said, those bets came in hot. Thursday now. It is Thursday right now. The game is not yet on. But, as this comes out, the game will be over. I'm taking Buffalo. Okay, Buffalo over Houston. Houston's a fucking joke. And Buffalo is, Buffalo's kind of up in the air a little bit, but I believe they'll be just fine. I think Buffalo's going to end up winning their division still. New England's good, but I think Buffalo's going to end up with it somehow. Pittsburgh at Chicago. I'm taking Chicago in this one. Rodgers is probably going to be out. And it's in Chicago. Chicago's been rolling. That's one of the teams I can thank for my bet the other day. But yeah, I'll take Chicago. Chicago. By the way, Chicago's defense has a huge turnover margin, like, in their favor. So, like, their defense is actually rolling pretty good. New England at Cincinnati. Gotta take New England in this case. They're just doing really good, and Cincinnati's an absolute dumpster fire. So there you go. New York Giants versus Detroit. Gonna take Detroit. Giants are pretty banged up right now, and Detroit has been kind of a roller coaster team. They win some, they lose some. They've won more than they've lost, but I think they're still a very dangerous team. I'm taking Detroit. Minnesota at Green Bay. Green Bay is, I don't believe in Green Bay. I don't trust them at all. I think they're a fraudulent team. I think Jordan Love is not that good. Like, not nearly as good as people hype him up to be. That being said, I believe all those same things about the Vikings, only slightly more. So I'm taking the Packers, and it's in Green Bay. Seattle at Tennessee. Now, previously, I believe I said that I thought Seattle was the best team in the NFC. And I still stand by that. I don't think that they're the best team because the Rams clearly are, the way the Rams beat them. But let's not forget, the Seahawks, Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions, and they still only lost by a field goal, and they had a chance to tie it. Like, they had a chance to win it, but the kicker just missed. So they still had a chance. I think Seattle's still dangerous. They're playing Tennessee. Like, that, I didn't even have to go into why I think Seattle's going to win, because Tennessee sucks. Yeah, Seattle all day. Indianapolis at Kansas City. This is a very interesting game. Indianapolis, I think they're coming off a bye week. Kansas City, this is they kept saying last week was a must win for Kansas City. If that, and they didn't do it, if that was the must win, this is a definite must win. They have got to win this game if they want to even make the playoffs at all. That being said, Indianapolis is really fucking good, and I'm taking Indy. They're sinking the ship. Indy's going to sink the Kansas City ship this week. Jets at Baltimore. Come on. Baltimore's not that great, but Baltimore. Cleveland at Las Vegas. What an absolute dog shit game this is going to be. Am I right? Like, just terrible. I'm taking Cleveland because their defense. The Raiders have nothing. Jacksonville at Arizona. Darian, I'm sorry. The Cardinals are just circling the drain. And Jacksonville, they're looking pretty hot. So I've got to go with Jacksonville on this one. Philadelphia at Dallas. Classic rivalry game here. Dallas, I could see Dallas pulling off an upset here. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not picking them because their defense sucks. Philadelphia, though, similar to the Packers, I think they're kind of fraudulent. I don't truly believe in them. There's a lot of turmoil going on in that locker room. I do have them picked to beat the Cowboys, though. Atlanta at New Orleans. Here's your upset for you. I think New Orleans pulls it off. I think they're due for one. It's in New Orleans. It's a rivalry game. Atlanta's nothing to be psyched up about. Kirk Cousins is playing. That doesn't scare me. I'll take New Orleans. Tampa Bay at Rams. Rams are just so fucking good. I like the Bucks. It wouldn't shock me if the Bucks pulled off a stunner here. They're just too injured. And the Rams are just that good. So I got to go with the Rams on this one. And then for our Monday night game, we got Carolina at San Francisco. Dude, I remember at the beginning of the year, I told y'all Carolina was my sleeper team. And at first, they looked to be shit. Like, they really were not looking good. And my prediction was gone before I even had a chance. Or was it? Because now, the Panthers are, 5-4? I think they're 5-4. Bro, Maybe they're 6-3. I don't remember. But either way, they're doing good. They're looking good. I'm gonna take San Francisco, but I just wanted to point out that Carolina has done very well for themselves, and it wouldn't completely shock me if Carolina made a good game out of this and potentially even won. But I gotta take San Francisco. Brock Purdy's back. He looked really good last week. I think in San Francisco. Yeah, I think they're gonna get it done. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah. So that's the picks of the week. I got you on there. I also want to say, I just want to say this too. I kind of forgot to mention this for at the beginning of the Broncos talk, since we're back on football. All year, people have just shit on the Broncos, even when we were good, even when, the games we've won. Oh, they barely beat them. Oh, they had to come back against the Giants. Oh, they won by a field goal. Oh, it was a sloppy win. Oh, they barely beat the Raiders 10-7. You know, despite the fact that we beat the Eagles, despite the fact that we did make a miraculous comeback in the fourth quarter, despite, being 8-2, they still just didn't believe. And then we beat the Chiefs. And all I gotta say is, what are you gonna say now? Now what can you say about the Denver Broncos? All this talk, all this hate. Bo Nix ain't him. Bo Nix is subpar. Go look at the stats. But ultimately, the only thing that matters is wins and losses. And currently, the Broncos are 9-2. So how can you say that they're bad? How can you talk shit about them? It makes no sense. And ultimately, when it comes down to it, I mean, the two losses we have are against two teams that are in the they're ranked playoff teams right now. The Colts, who are very, very good, and the Chargers, who are a division rival. On the road, we lost to the Chargers. And the amount of points we've lost by are combined 4 points that we've lost by to those two teams who are have good records. So what more do you want from us? What more can we do to prove that we're a damn good team? I don't give a fuck what you think about Bo Nix. He gets the job done. And I gotta tell you something. I am thankful for Bo Nix. Hell to the yeah. But most importantly, I am thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for you as the fans. I am thankful for everything that I have in my life. As I said before, I am thankful for my band. I am thankful for the opportunity to be recording a record. Not a lot of people get to do something as special as that. I'm thankful for my family and my friends, everybody close to me in my life. I'm thankful for everything that I have in my life, my home, my vehicle. I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful that I exist in this world alongside of all of you. I'm thankful that I can do this podcast and help to entertain you. I'm thankful that I've been able to do this for 5 years, despite the fact that I've been absent and I've missed a few episodes here and there. Don't think I'm not thankful for this. I am very thankful for what I've done here on this show. I'm thankful for the opportunity that you've given me to put this out there and to entertain you and show and make memories and to do fun things. I am thankful for the memories. Thankful for the memories, even if they aren't so great. He tastes like you, only sweeter. Yes, I am very thankful for the memories. Wait. Thankful the memories. There we go. Thankful the memories. That's how it should be. Thankful the memories. But yes, I am thankful for all of those things and much more. And I hope you take the time to reflect and be thankful for everything that you have. And I hope that you have a very blessed Thanksgiving. But most importantly, I want you to remember to never forget that life's a garden. Dig it.
Just gotta keep on going.